In this video I'm going to show you how to take what you'd built previously using the interface system, which was this sequence of buttons to be pressed. So we're just using the walking up, pressing the F key in sequence, and changing it so that if you were to walk up to one of these later on and deactivate it, it would turn off the other lights and the other sequences in its place. So what we'll do first of all is just concentrate on this switch at the end here. So we'll just make it active to start with, so that we can walk up to it and press it at the beginning. We may just have to detach this one here as well. So clear the switch beforehand. There we are. Okay, so I'm just going to duplicate trigger switch 2 and call it trigger switch 3, and I'm just going to remove the old copies of trigger switch 2. There we are, and also put trigger switch 3 there. So we've got the old ones if we need to go back to them. So if we look inside of our blueprint for this, you can see we've got the various events that we set up previously. What we're going to do is replace this turn on and off with a toggle. So if the rotating cube is already rotating, it's going to stop it rotating, and vice versa. So it will toggle the state of those. So to do that, we're going to modify our interface, and we're going to add a new function to this. So we've got turn on and off already there. We can add a new function called toggle on or off. Now this function, once we compile, is going to have an output. It's going to return a value to us, which will tell our switch whether or not that that spinning cube is actually spinning or not. So we'll send a value back called is on, and we'll just compile and save that. And then we just want to modify our rotating block, which was this one here, rotating block interface, so that it can respond to this toggle event. You'll see it's added in here, this interface function, and you can see at the moment when it receives that, it doesn't do anything other than send the return value, which would currently be turned off. So what we need to do first of all is we need to basically invert the value of our is on status, like so. So we're going to invert that, and then also what we'll do is call our own function, which we are using already. So the event here, this event turn on off, we'll call it upon ourselves. It's called the event called turn on and off. There we are. Call function turn on or off. So the target is ourselves. We're going to pass it the new value, and then once it's run it, it will also return whatever the current status is of its on value back to the switch that that triggered it in the first place. So let's just check this this works. We just need to change the trigger switch to call the toggle function. Just turn off context sensitive there. We'll use the message, just make sure you choose the correct one here. And you'll see we've actually got the is on return value coming out of here. So basically, if our rotating cube tells us that it's spinning, then we're going to change our colour to this green colour like we're doing already. However, if it's not spinning, then we're going to change our material back to that laser colour pointer. That red laser pointer, that's the one. Okay. There we are. So we've just modified this. We're using a toggle instead of the turn on and off. And then depending on what the result of that toggle is, will depend on, we'll then change what colour we're going to place on top of our little switch device. So let's see if it works. So here's our switch. We're going to walk up to this, we're going to press the F key. Now we need to make sure it's activated first as well. There we are. So there we are. So it's red, saying that it can be interacted with. I'm going to press F. That's not running just yet. Because we've not set our target actor. There we are. Just got to make sure that you link up the target actor there. Let's try again. There we are. Okay, so that's the spinning block telling us that it's spinning, which means the light goes green. And then again, it's our spinning block stopping and telling us to set our light to red. So that's pretty useful. But let's say, for example, we want to have multiple switches leading up to the ability to turn on our final switch. So let's link these up together like we've been doing before. So the first switch is going to trigger the second switch is going to trigger the third switch, and that one will trigger that switch. We're going to just turn off the active setting on this switch here, so those all should be inactive apart from the very first one. Now we haven't yet set these up to respond to the toggle commands yet, so we have to do that first. And I'll show you how to do that in the next clip.